Are you hungry?
Give me something good.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Görgött. It's dessert time again. So today we're making a Pavlova, and we're making it with passion fruit. Now you can use any fruit on a Pavlova. Raspberries, strawberries, pineapple, well that's not every fruit, but blueberries, whatever you feel like, whatever you think tastes good. But I use passion fruit because I think the sourness of the passion fruit goes really well with the overall sweetness of the dessert itself. It's a very simple dessert. It takes a while to make it, but it's dead time, so you can do other things in the meantime. But let's have a look at what we have on the board. But before that, if you're not supporting the channel yet by subscribing, please do so now. Click the subscribe button and check that little bell icon so that you get notifications when every week a new episode drops. But now let's have a look. Obviously we have our passion fruit. Now I think 6 is enough for this. You can have more, you can have less, but 6 is a good number for what we're making. We have 8 egg whites, and they're already in my bain-marie pot because we're going to put them on the oven later or on the stove. We have 350 grams of sugar, and we have 2.5 deciliters of cream. So the cream and the passion fruit go on top of the Pavlova. The Pavlova itself is just egg white and sugar. And the first thing we need to do, we put the sugar in the egg white, and we're going to make sure that the sugar dissolves, and that we'll do on the stove. So I'll see you in a second over there. So we have our bain-marie on the stove. And the only point of this is to dissolve the sugars. You don't need to go with a lot of heat. I would say just medium heat and stir it. You don't have to whisk it yet, just stir it. So this is done now, and the best way of checking is just to see if you can feel any sugar crystals between your fingers when you do like that. And this step is not necessary, but I prefer it because if you don't do it, you might have some crystals in your Pavlova afterwards. So now we're just going to transfer this into another container, and then I'll see you back at the bench. So we transferred our egg whites and the sugar. Now before you do anything else, turn on your oven, 150 degrees Celsius, so we preheat that. So now we're going to make meringue. Now the quickest and least messy way for me in my kitchen is just to use a whisk like this. So I'll turn this on now and I'll see you once we have meringue. So we are at the famous stage. It didn't fall on my head. So that's ready. Now we'll get a baking tray out. We'll put some baking paper on top of that, and then I'll show you what we'll do. Our baking tray, baking paper, our meringue, and one of these little things. And now we'll just build our Pavlova. I kind of like it when it has a non-homogeneous shape, because then you can really tell that it's homemade. Make sure you get everything out there. So I'm just going to flatten it a little bit. So something like this. Now we scrape off. And there we go. Now, this, after I clean my hands, goes into the oven. Remember, we preheated at 150, but once you put it in, turn it down to 120. And then it needs to be in there for an hour and 15 minutes. And then you turn off the oven And then you need to leave it in. Don't open anything for another minimum of 3 hours. Ideally overnight, but minimum 3 hours for it to cool down in the oven. And don't open it. So I'll see you in 4 hours and 15 minutes. So 1 hour, 15 minutes baking, 3 hours cooling down. Well, I'll see you earlier because in the meantime we can fix up the passion fruit. So I'll see you in a bit, but we put it in now. We have a passion fruit here. Our pavlova is in. So this is a good time just to prep your passion fruit or any other fruit you want to put on top. Like we said earlier, a really nice thing I think is pineapple. We have passion fruit today. So we're just going to scrape this into another bowl and then put aside until the pavlova is done. And since this doesn't require any skills or anything, I think I will just leave you until the pavlova is ready in the oven, and then we'll take it out. We'll decorate it nicely with the cream and with the passion fruit, and then comes the best part, we can taste it. So the pavlova is almost done. A good tip, put your hand to the oven. If it's cool, then you can take it out. So we'll get whisking. We need to whisk our cream. Our passion fruit is ready, so the cream is pretty much the last thing we need to do. But I'll cut until when it's done because it's going to be loud. Our cream is whipped. I'll clean up a bit here, and I'll take out the pavlova, and then we'll get to decorating. Our pavlova is out of the oven. It's done. It's hard on the outside, soft on the inside, like it should be. It might not be the most beautiful one, but it doesn't really matter because we're going to put cream on it now. Just spread it out however you want to. Cream is important. I think I'm quite happy with that amount of cream. So cream away, and next, the passion fruit. And now for our passion fruit. Again, you can do this with any fruit that you like, but I think the sourness of the passion fruit goes really well with the sweetness of the pavlova. Now this is obviously going to run down on the side. That's fine. I don't mind. Like so. And now we'll cut ourselves a piece and we'll give it a try. Pretty beautiful piece. Let's dig into this. Crusty on the outside and so soft on the inside. And really, do try it with some acidity or fruit with acidity, because that really helps with the sweetness of the pavlova itself. It's so good. I have my mother-in-law over today for Mother's Day, and we're going to serve this. I think she will go home happy and full. But that's it for this time. I hope you enjoyed my pavlova. I hope you'll give it a try yourself. Before you go, don't forget, hit the thumbs up button. Leave me a comment below. If you're not subscribing yet, do so and check that bell icon. But that's it for today. Thank you. Bye-bye.